Greetings, fellow golf clashers, and welcome back. We are here with a hole-by-hole guide to the Clifftop Links tournament, starting off with hole number 1. This is a White Cliffs hole, par 4, and it's one that we're going to want to get dialed in because this is one where we should be, if not making an eagle, then coming really close almost every time, because with a good drive, it's going to set us up for a minimum distance short iron, and that's one that we're going to be wanting to burying. This is a drop that we really want to get dialed in. So my first effort here, I'm playing it with an Apocalypse, going full top spin and as much right spin as that'll allow us with a 20% over adjustment. You saw me push up just a little bit there at the end, just to try and gauge where we're going to be at here, and it works out really nicely for us. We end up driving at 395 yards. That's kind of the range that we're going to want to be in, because that'll leave us right at a minimum distance short iron as we're going up onto the green. I was able to replicate it almost exactly here with my second effort. I got the Apocalypse 5 upgrade on my second account here, so I'm able to play all these shots exactly the same way. If you have a lower level Apocalypse, say a level 4 or so, you can still play this exact same shot, but you're going to want to push up at the end of your adjustment, similar to how I did with the first shot where I pushed up just a little bit at the end there. That did make a difference. This one goes 393 versus 395, so that's something you're going to want to look out for. But with an APOC level 4, it's going to be the exact same, but just like I said, you can just push up after you make your adjustment, and that way you can get pretty much the same exact distance. Curl it to the outside, just outside the arrows, full top and as much right as that'll get us. So as you can see, that leaves us with this really nice looking minimum distance short iron where we're just barely on the green, and be able to adjust at a minimum. It's uphill, so I think we're going to end up playing this one at a minus 10%. That's what I do for my first effort here, and it works out pretty nicely. Taking 10% off leads us to an 8.1 mile an hour adjustment with a minimum thorn. That's exactly 4 rings. So this will give us a really nice idea of what we're looking at here in terms of our adjustment. It does come in, it ends up coming in just a little bit to the right. I get the perfect, but just barely to the right side. So for my second try, I decided to play it as a minus 15%, but almost the exact same way. I don't have a maxed out Hornet, so I decided to play it with a maxed out Thorn instead, just to see what it looked like. And the 4 and a notch backspin seems to give us a really good speed. It still comes into the right, even though I played it as a minus 15% adjustment. So I think what we're going to want to do is just offset it to the left edge of the cup before we start our adjustment. I think that the elevating on this green, it kind of continues to go uphill with our adjustment because of the direction of the wind here. So I took off 15% here, and so that ends up being just under 2 rings that I'm in, but it still hangs out to the right. So I think how we're going to play this one is that 4 in a notch backspin gives us that really good speed right at a minimum distance, minus 10%, but offset it on the left edge of the cup.